Hey there, welcome back to my channel. If we have not met yet, my name is Tiffany. I'm a Washington realtor who has a love for creating beautiful spaces on a budget. Today I'm headed off to my favorite place to help do just that, the Goodwill Outlet, otherwise known as the Goodwill bins. If you haven't been before, the way this works is they bring out items in big categorized bins. You dig through, pick what you want, and pay by the pound. As usual, I did come away with some project pieces, so I'll show you what I did with those. I'll show you how I might style some of the items, and as always, in the end, I will share exactly how much I spent. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to the Goodwill Outlet. I normally head straight for these large bins. They do have normal shopping carts, but I know that I am most likely going to need one of these rolling bins. My first big find of the day was this large vase, and it had this caning on it. It wasn't necessarily my style, but it also had some damage on it. So I was debating whether or not to do this, but I decided to go ahead and remove it and see what we ended up with. Much to my surprise, when I removed that, the base also came off with it. I felt like it updated and modernized this vase. And here I'm just adding some faux willow branches that I've collected over time at the Goodwill Outlet. These combination pliers are one of my most used tools. They are great for cutting heavy wire. If you are in the market for something like this, I will have these linked down in the description below, along with any other products or items used in this video. I love how this turned out. I love the texture and the finish on this vase and the shape and size. It just looks like something that you would find in a high-end store. Next, I picked up this that was originally from Hobby Lobby. It still had the price tag on it of $23.99. I also found this 3-tiered triangular shelf, and I felt like it went well with that picture there. Next, I found these wooden crates, and these still had tags on them, and they were originally $9.99 each. These mesh metal baskets, I thought these would be great for adding some extra storage underneath a bed. When I spotted this hamper / tote bag, I could tell it was very nice quality, so I went ahead and tossed it in my cart. When I got it home, I noticed that there was a little tag left on there. The fact that it was ripped off makes me think it could have been a gift. When I looked inside, I found this. This is a receipt from Anthropologie. It was originally $39.95 and there was a discount. They got it for $29.96. This is also a great place to pick up practical items, and today I snagged this little turntable that is great for spices. Next, I found this copper plate and mug. Now this mug was from Project 62, which is a Target brand, and this was actually stainless steel, but that plate there was actually solid copper. Next, I grabbed this large coiled basket. This was a beautiful basket, but unfortunately it had a good amount of damage on it, so I wanted to see if I could salvage this. I was hoping that I could reattach those two sections, but after working with it for a while, I could tell that that just wasn't going to happen. So I decided to go ahead and carefully remove that section that had detached and try to make the new end look intentional. In the end, I had a usable decorative basket. I think things like this are so beautiful to hang on a wall and add some visual interest and texture to a room. This 3-tiered tray was very nice, and today I am styling it only with items that I picked up this trip to the Goodwill Outlet. When I picked up these beads, there was a buffalo check ribbon running throughout the tassels there, and I went ahead and removed those. This 3-tiered hanging fruit basket is something that I don't see used often anymore. This still had the price tag from Value Village on it for $4.99. So first thing I did was I removed the baskets from that chain there, and here I am just reattaching the chain just to the largest basket. And I thought this could work as a hanging basket for flowers or other plants. And these of course could be used individually, but here I'm taking the base from that vase and I am adding some E6000 to it. E6000 is known for having a very strong bond, but it's pretty slow to dry. For this reason, it pairs great with a hot glue gun because that hot glue dries quickly and allows your piece to adhere and gives that E6000 lots of time to dry. And here I'm using this jute cord and I'm weaving it through the holes and through the base of this basket here. This will act not just as a decorative element, it will also help to ensure that that base is well attached to the basket. This large outdoor planter was definitely looking a little rough on the inside. It was very rusted and dirty. It still had the price tag of $59.99 on it, but the outside of this planter still looked great to me. So I decided to pick up these faux ferns that I found in the bin. I was hoping to find more of them to fill this. Unfortunately, I didn't, but this planter is still very usable. This is large scale, and once there are plants in there, I don't think anyone would know the difference. I thought this gold caddy here was really cute. When I got it home, I was trying to figure out how to use it. It is small, so a lot of things didn't fit in there. So I decided to put some party items in here. If you guys have any ideas of how I could use this, I would love to hear your thoughts. These wall hooks here are great as is, but I decided to take a trip down to my local fencing company, and they always have a free pile of wood. So I dug through there and found a couple of pieces and brought them home. And here I am sanding off the algae on it. After I did this, I did a little research and discovered that you can mix 1 part bleach to 2 parts water and wash the boards with that, and that will remove the algae. So next time I do a project like this, I will do that and I will let you know how that works. Here I'm using an iron acetate that we made. To make this, you take white vinegar and soak steel wool in it, and it acts as a stain for wood. This is a great way to make wood look naturally aged. Next, I placed those hooks where I wanted them on the board, and here I am pre-drilling those holes so the wood does not split. And here's the end result. I really liked that rustic wood with the kind of rustic finish on the metal hooks there. And putting these on a board like this will allow me to drill directly into studs when hanging this, which is always a plus. When I headed off to the store this day, I had hoped to find some fall decor, and this is what I found instead. That's just how thrifting goes sometimes. I figured I might as well go ahead and pick these up. I will keep some, I will give some away, and I may sell some. When I got home, I noticed that this set here had tags on them. These were originally from Magnolia, and they had a price tag of $16 each. These little frosted evergreen shrub things, they are flat on the bottom, and I'm sure there's a name for these, but I don't know what it is. So if you do, would you please let me know? And branches like this have gotten pretty expensive new, so I went ahead and snagged these up. My kids were very excited when they saw that I brought these home. These are currently selling online for $39.98. Small trays like this are so versatile. This would be great for putting next to a sink and putting your soaps in, or canisters or decorations. They are just a great base for groupings of items. When I spotted these tins here, I thought they would be fun to repurpose. When I'm out shopping, I'm looking at the size and shape of items, not so much what the item is or its intended use. Here I am painting some chalk paint on. This is Behr chalk paint. The nice thing about this paint is it is tintable, so you can get it mixed up in any color you would like. And here I'm using a chip brush because I want to create some texture on these. Once these were dry, I did go back and add a second coat. So here I'm taking this greenery and just setting these on top. The nice thing about these is they are very versatile. You could put florals in them, you could put pencils in them. If you wanted to change up the look, you could add a stripe, or you could tape off the bottom half and make them look dipped. So if you have some tins laying around, you may want to consider repurposing them. Next, I picked up this wooden wall hanging, and I saw this little clip as well, and I figured I might as well combine the two together. And this could work for displaying your family photos. You could also use this as a base for seasonal decor. Next, I found this candle here, and it did smell very good, but that print on it just didn't quite fit in our home, so I decided to go ahead and paint it. Because this was a candle and I figured it was going to get hot, I decided to use this engine paint here that is heat resistant up to 500 degrees. I did later look this candle up, and this is currently selling on Amazon for $29. If you have spray painted something and you just need to touch up a little spot, or there's a spot that is difficult to spray, you can just spray it directly onto a paper plate or something like that, and you can brush it on. You do have to work pretty quickly. This also works if you have a piece that you spray painted in the past and it has a little nick or something like that on it. This works for touching up. So once it dried, I did not like that high gloss, so I decided to go ahead and light the candle and let it sit for about an hour and see just how hot it actually got. So here I'm using an infrared thermometer, and it was not getting very hot. So after doing some research and discovering that most paints can withstand up to 200 degrees and some 250 degrees, I felt comfortable painting this with a standard paint. So here I am once again using that Behr chalk paint. Here's a look back at the before, and here's the after. Now, this is something that is not going to stick out in my home, but is going to actually fit in with the aesthetic. Next, I picked up this large wooden crate, and with those colors on there, it looked Easter themed to me. I'm not sure if that was the original intent, but I put a fresh coat of paint on this to neutralize it so it would be usable year round. Once painted, I'm going over it with my sanding block here and distressing those edges. I think distressing is a great way to add a little interest and define the lines on a piece. Here is a look at the before, and here's the after. I think this definitely freshened up this piece, and this is something I can now use year round. This large basket with a lid looked to be brand new. This could of course be used as a hamper, but this could also be used to tuck away items that you want out of sight, whether it be toys, blankets, or whatever. And if you wanted to really get creative, you could attach a round piece to the top and convert this into a side table / storage piece. Now on to some practical items that I picked up. I found these 3M anti-slip stair tread stickers. I also picked up an extension cord, this Spanish moss, and I'm sure I will find a use for this wooden rod at some point. And there you have it. Now, before we get to the total of what I spent this day, if you enjoyed this video, would you please do me a big favor and hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. So here you'll notice several charges for $3.39. Those are items that weighed over 3 pounds, so they just charge a flat rate for those items. My total before tax this day was $64.65. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you feel encouraged that you too can create beautiful spaces on a budget. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time.